Hello friends, welcome back to Pathin. So let's begin today's topic, which is the sun. And as you can see, this is our sun. It is glowing hot, as you can see. And earlier also we have studied that the distance between Earth and sun is approximately 150 million kilometer, and the speed of light is 3 lakh kilometer per second. So if you divide distance by speed, we get the time that comes about approximately 500 seconds or 8 minutes and 26 seconds, which is the amount of time sunlight takes to reach to Earth. Okay, so moving forward, these are the layer of our sun. Innermost one is core, followed by it is radiative zone, next is convection zone, followed by photosphere, then it is chromosphere, and the outermost layer of the sun is corona. Okay, so on our day-to-day basis, in our daily life, whenever we see the sun, we don't see the outermost layer of the sun, which is corona. Rather, we always see chromosphere. Chromosphere is the layer of the sun that is visible to us daily. It is not corona. Always remember this thing. They may ask you this question that which layer of the sun do you see on a daily basis? Then they will give in the option corona also, but don't tick mark corona. Tick mark chromosphere. Chromosphere is the outermost layer of the sun which we see on a day-to-day basis. Then when do we see corona? Friends, we see corona on day of a eclipse. Whenever there is a solar eclipse, when moon comes in between sun and the earth, when moon blocks the view of the sun as seen from the earth, then the outermost layer of the sun that is visible to us, that is corona. And that corona also, if we need to see it, then we need to wear one special kind of goggles which are known as coronagraph. Okay, so again, innermost layer of the sun is core, where all the fusion reaction is happening, then followed by a radiative zone where all the thermal heat pressure is exerting outwards. Okay, then followed by that is convection zone, where convection currents are formed due to such enormous temperatures. Followed by that is photosphere, then chromosphere, and then corona. Okay, this is the temperature difference between various layers of the sun. The core being the innermost layer of the sun, where all the fusion reactions are happening and a lot of heat energy is being produced when hydrogen being converted to helium, further being converted to beryllium or carbon, oxygen, neon, and in massive gigantic star it further goes on till it further goes on when oxygen again combines to form silicon, and then iron is formed, magnesium is formed. So there the temperature of the core is very high. Okay, so in our sun the temperature of the core is, as you can see, it is 15 million degrees centigrades. As we move out from the core towards the outer surfaces of the sun, towards outer layers of the sun, the temperature decreases. But there is one anomaly which we see, that in that although corona is the outermost layer of the sun, and still it has a huge temperature, that is approximately 2 million degrees centigrades, 20 lakh degrees centigrades, 2 million degrees centigrades. Till surface of the sun, the temperature is reduced to 5500 degrees centigrade, but again at corona the temperature suddenly rises and it reaches 2 million degrees centigrade. So if they ask you in the examination that corona being that whether the statement is true or false or anything like that, they ask you that corona is the outermost layer and its temperature is the lowest one. No, the temperature of corona is very higher compared to chromosphere and surface of the sun. Okay, the reason behind this is, as we all know, any star has electromagnetic field also. It is also generating its electromagnetic radiations. So those electromagnetic radiation which are coming out of the sun, they are also bringing some of the heat from the surface, from the inside of the sun towards the outermost surface of the sun, that is corona. So that's why the heat, the temperature at corona rises suddenly, and it becomes 2 million degrees centigrade. So the logic behind telling you this slide was that you must know that corona, although it is the outermost layer of the sun, still it has a lot of temperature, 2 million degrees centigrade. Okay, and the core of the sun has the highest temperature, that is 15 million degrees centigrade, because fusion reaction is actually taking place at that place. And then you can see one thing over here, this is sunspots, it is written over here. So these sunspots are some white spots on the surface of the sun, which the scientists have observed in near history only, and the reason behind these is still unknown, but the scientists have said that these are the cooler spots, that is the temperature here suddenly drops on the surface of the sun. These are very cool spots. Now why these sunspots are occurring, the reason behind this is still unknown, but yeah, this is unknown. If they ask you, these are sunspots. Okay, so if they ask you in the examination, sunspots are appearing on the surface of the sun and the temperature over there is suddenly rising. No, sunspots are comparatively cooler. Okay, remember this thing. And solar flare, if you want to know what happens is, because plasma is bursting out, as you can see here, this plasma is bursting out, this plasma is bursting out, but it is again getting inside the sun, it is again getting attracted towards the sun. But what happens is, sometimes it doesn't get attracted back to the sun, and the solar flare it bursts out, and this solar flare, it sometimes reaches our earth also and other planets also. So solar flare, this is a solar flare. As you can see from the name, a flare is lighting up on the surface of the sun. One previous year question which has been asked, it is an easy one. Now you can answer it very easily. Outermost layer of the sun is called lithosphere, chromosphere, photosphere, corona. Lithosphere is basically the outermost layer of Earth's surface. Okay, and chromosphere, photosphere, and corona are the surfaces of the sun, are the layers of the sun, and the corona being the outermost layer of the sun. Okay. Now coming forward to our planets, the 8 planets of our solar system. These are arranged on the basis of their distance from the sun. The Mercury being closest, followed by Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay. So as you can see, this slide is showing the difference between the axial tilt. Okay, how much they are tilted. Our Earth, it is tilted at 23.5 degrees centigrade approximately. Almost similar to it is Mars, also tilted 25 degrees centigrade. Not much difference is there between the axial tilt. Okay, Jupiter, you can see it is not tilted, approximately almost not tilted. Mercury is also not tilted at all. But here you will see Saturn is also tilted approximately the same way our Earth and Mars are tilted. Neptune is also tilted approximately same, axial inclination is there. There are two anomalies here. One is that Uranus is tilted at 90 degrees. So rather than rotating from west to east, okay, since we are rotating from west to east, our Earth is rotating from west to east. That's why we see the sun rising from east and setting in the west. Okay, but such is not the case in Uranus. Its axial tilt is 90 degrees, approximately 90 degrees. It is exactly 97.8 degrees. So its axial tilt is 90 degrees. So it is rotating from north to south, as you can see here. Also, one more anomaly is there. Venus axial tilt is 180 degrees. It is totally upside down. Okay, if Mercury is upright straight with 0 degree tilt, Venus is totally 180 degree tilted. So that's why it is not rotating from west to east, rather it is rotating from east to west. Okay, from east to west. Earth is rotating from west to east, it is rotating from east to west. So sun will rise here in the west and it will set in the east. Opposite thing will happen over here. Okay. Now if we want to compare the rotational time of each planet, as you can see, it is 58 days for Mercury to 43 days for Venus. So the maximum amount of time taken by any planet to rotate around its own axis is by Venus. It shows the slowest rotation, that is approximately 243 days. Okay, we take 24 hours only. Earth is taking only 24 hours, but Venus is taking 243 days. Our brother, where we keep sending these Mangalyaan and everything, it is very similar to us in rotation. It is also taking 1 day only, approximately half an hour more. That's it. Okay, and the fastest revolution, as you can see from this diagram, is by Jupiter, the largest planet of our solar system. It is taking only 10 hours to rotate around its own axis. We take 24 hours to rotate around our own axis. It takes only 10 hours to rotate around its own axis. So this is the least amount of time taken by any planet. Fastest rotation wins. The fastest rotation is by Jupiter and the slowest rotation is by Venus. Okay friends, now moving forward, let me explain to you how much. First let's see this. Okay, this is again the same thing. Planet wise they have arranged the amount of time taken by for rotation and amount of time taken for revolution around the sun. So as we have seen already, rotation, fastest rotation is by Jupiter followed by Saturn. Okay, and the slowest rotation is by Venus, that is 243 days, approximately 1 year. Okay, and Earth and Mars are showing same amount of time for rotation. Remember this also. Which planet shows approximately the same amount of time for rotation around its own axis? It is Mars. For revolution, as you can see, the maximum amount of time taken by any planet is Neptune, the outermost planet, and the minimum amount of time taken by any planet is Mercury, 88 days, just 88 days. So just in 1.5 month it will complete its one revolution around the sun. It is moving so fast, and Neptune is moving so slow. Okay, now let's see the reason behind this. Suppose the finger of this person, here it is sun, and this is any planet which is revolving around it, which is tied to the string. What happens is, we all have done this thing in our childhood, tied a stone to a string and rotating it around our finger. If the stone is near to our finger, that is near to the center, we see that we have to rotate it very fastly. Its rotation speeds becomes very fast. But if it moves away, if it moves farther away, then its rotation speeds become very slow. It takes more amount of time to complete one revolution. And what will happen if we increase the rotational speed of that stone? Then it will tear apart. Okay, the string will break and the stone will tear apart and it will fall God knows where. So if something is revolving near the center, then it will revolve very fast. If as the distance between the center and the revolving planet increases, its revolution speed will also decrease, its revolution time will also increase. Okay, that's why Mercury, being the closest to sun, its revolution time is the minimal, and Neptune, being the farthest away planet from sun, its revolution time is maximum. (165 years). So we all know that as I have already told you, that planets and sun are are co-planar, but sun is also rotating on its own axis. Also, sun is revolving around the Milky Way galaxy. So this is the actual movement of our solar system. We are revolving around sun, and sun is also continuously moving to revolve around the galaxy. This kind of movement is known as vortex movement. VORTEX, vortex movement. Okay, they may ask you this question, that the solar system, our solar system is revolving around the Milky Way galaxy. In which kind of pattern, in which kind of movement? Is it rotational, is it revolutionary, is it vortex? So vortex you have to take. Okay, moving further, here is the difference between outer planets and inner planets. Basically, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, these are the 4 planets which have been designated by scientists as inner planets, and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, these are the 4 planets which have been designated by the scientists as outer planets. The inner planets are also known as terrestrial planets because they are solid in nature, they have rocky body, whereas these outer planets, they are majorly formed of gases. Jupiter, we all know, is majorly form of hydrogen, helium and methane. Saturn is also majorly form of hydrogen and methane. So these planets, their major component is gas. That's why they are also known as gas giants, and also their sizes vary big, but because of gas their mass is so low, so density is also very less of these planets, so they are very low in density. Also outer planets are known as Jovian planets, Jovian, Jovian planets. Okay, so inner planets are small in size, as we have already seen, compared to outer planets, and they are also denser as compared to outer planets, because first of all their size is very less. Okay, but their size is very small, but outer planet size is very huge. Okay, now inner planets, because they are very near to the sun, so practically they can't sustain any natural satellite, especially Mercury, Venus. They don't have any natural satellite like we have. Earth has moon, but Mercury and Venus don't have any kind of natural satellite, because they are so near to sun that due to gravitational pull of the sun, the natural satellite of those planets will be sucked into the sun. If at some point of time they would be having any natural satellite, but now after so much amount of time the sun must have sucked those satellites, that's why they don't have any satellite as of today. So inner planets have fewer amount of satellites, whereas outer planets, we will see in further slides, they have more than 50, one of the planet is having more than 30 natural satellites. I think it is Jupiter only, we will see in further slides, but they have a lot of natural satellites. Why? Because they are far away from the sun, so its gravitational pull won't reach to them. Okay, also since they themselves are such huge planets, okay, their gravitational pull itself is very huge, so they are capable of binding their natural satellites to themselves. Sun is unable to pull towards itself the natural satellites of these outer planets, which are so huge in size and they have so enormous gravitational pull. We have seen in the comparison slide that how this next slide it will show you how big the outer planets are. The first four were Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. The next one it has come is Jupiter. Then this one is Saturn. This is Uranus, this is Neptune, and you can compare their sizes with Sun. They are nothing in front of them. Especially our Earth, it is nothing in front of our Sun. Our Earth's radius is 6400 kilometers, whereas the radius of Sun is 6,95,000 kilometers. So we are nothing in front of Sun. We are already nothing in front of Jupiter, as you can see. Here you can see the size. Jupiter is the largest one and Mercury is the smallest one. This question has been asked previously in CGL, so you have to know this, that Jupiter is the largest one, then comes Saturn, our Shani Dev, then comes Uranus, then comes Neptune, the outermost planet, then our Earth comes. Among the innermost planets, Earth is the largest one in size, okay, followed by Venus, then Mars, then the most innermost planet, that is Mercury. Okay, coming back to the differences between inner planets and outer planets, as I have already told you in previous slides, the revolution speed of the inner planets is very faster because they are nearer to the sun, so they will revolve very faster. The revolution speed of outer planets is very slow, because if they revolve faster, then they will tear apart from our solar system. If they revolve any faster than what then the revolution speed they are having now, then they will tear apart from the gravitational pull of the sun and they will eventually tear apart from our solar system. Now what happens is rotational speed. Rotational speed of inner planets is very slow as compared to outer planets. Why is it so? Here we have seen the rotational speed also, as you can see, of the outer planets, it is merely less than the maximum is 17 hours, but in the inner planets it is going 1 day. Okay, so it is getting reduced by approximately half. Why is it so? Because they want to rotate from west to east. All the planets are rotating from west to east. Okay, but what is happening is, since they are so near to sun, their the gravitational pull acting on them is so huge that they are unable to rotate at their free will. So if they want to rotate, but a retarding force is stopping them and their rotational speed is getting slowed down. That's why Mercury is having so much of rotational time it is taking. Okay, 58 days it takes to complete one cycle of rotation on its own axis. That's why outer planets, their rotational speed is faster than compared to inner planets. That's it for today, and please like the video if you gain something new, if you gain some new knowledge today from this video. Subscribe to it if you want to know further about a lot of things that are unknown to you. If you want to gain new concepts, basically we'll be clearing all the concepts. And also share the video a lot. If you want to discuss it with your friends should know what you have learned, so that you can know their angle also, and you can gain from the discussions that you are having with your friends. Some knowledge you are having, you will share it to them. Their knowledge will increase, your knowledge will increase when they share something with you in the discussion. So that's why knowledge increases by sharing, and after all, sharing is caring, as we are told in our school also. If you have any doubts, please do ask us in the comment section, in our telegram channel link which we have provided you in the description. You have to ask doubts there also. You have to solve the questions on solar system and ask us doubts. Every doubt will be cleared. Our main focus will be on doubt clearing also only, because you can see these, you can gain knowledge from anywhere. You can read the books, you can watch any video, you can do anything to gain knowledge, but doubt solving is a major part in in clearing these exams. If you are studying something, definitely you will get doubts that why this thing is happening, why that thing is happening. So we are here to clear every doubt of yours. Please do ask us doubts. Okay, so see you in the next video. Thank you.